My mother will kill me if she ever finds out I read something like that.
We are at a beautiful Airbnb. It is an alpaca farm. She surprised me for my birthday. You're all caught up. I had a mishap with coffee. We're here again. This is take 2. We are going to talk about the worst romance book that my best friend Sarah has ever read. What is this book, first of all? Actually, you know what's funny is I have not read many romance books by men. Honestly, I can't think of one that I've read by a dude.
Well, it was tantalizing, and it was in that stack of, hey, books you might like to read based on your reading preferences, and boy, am I never trusting that again. I rarely spend money on books on here. I'm very much, if I'm going to buy a book, I want the actual physical book in my hand. I want to turn the pages. I mean, I don't mind, like, every now and then I'll spend 99 cents or $1.99. I paid $5 for this book. $5.
Not $4.99.
$5 for this book. It was $4.99.
Oh, and it's wait, do we want to say what the book is, or should we just have them try and guess it first, and then we'll reveal the name of the book and the author at the end?
See if they can figure out.
You'll figure it out if you've read this
what
book
happened.
Before. Okay, so
Jesus Christ.
The synopsis. What is it about?
Okay, read why it sucked me in and why I downloaded the sample. I read the sample. The sample was probably like 30 or 40 pages, and based on that sample, I was like, I'll spend $5 on this book because I'm interested to see where it goes.
How many of us have been swindled in by the sample only to be so disappointed when the time came? A lot, actually. A lot of times.
When a long-lost uncle contacts 18-year-old Kirsty and invites her to stay with him in his villa on a Mediterranean island, she is over the moon. Of course, her boyfriend Dave isn't quite so happy, but when she arrives on the island to find her Uncle Jack is the perfect gentleman, it seems that Dave's fears are unfounded and she prepares for a holiday of a lifetime. Then, while she showers late one night, her clothes are mysteriously removed from her room. Thus begins her sexual enslavement to the man purporting to be her relative, as she has to indulge in a series of kinky erotic games, all the while searching for escape. But it is only when her boyfriend arrives to rescue her that she realizes she is as addicted to sexual exploration as her captor, but that won't stop her taking a very personalized type of retribution.
Damn, okay, so that makes me think, so I've never read this book.
Okay.
Disclaimer. I would be intrigued by this because it sounds like revenge story. Like, yes. she gets swindled into this, and then she starts to kind of fall in love, or whatever, love or like, or whatever it is. She enjoys what's happening in lust, yeah. And then she's like, fuck this. I'm a bad bitch. I'm gonna do what I want. And then she, like, gets revenge on the people that were doing bad to her, instead of what normally happens, or what happens a lot in, like, they happily ever after.
Disclaimer, I never finished the book. I deleted it.
So we don't know what happened.
And I can't let Jordan read it because I deleted it. I was so offended and mortified that I had spent $5 on this book. I made it.
So the content of the book you told me was really crap. But what about, before we get to that,
okay,
how about the writing style? Can you tell it's a dude?
No, not at first.
Yeah.
At first, he's got this very poetic turn of phrase, and just this really interesting way. He kind of drew you in the sample. And then, I don't know what happened.
Not that dude writers are bad. I feel kind of shitty saying that. I don't mean that dude writers are bad. I just mean that there happens to be a trend of male writers writing certain female characters in a very, like, male gaze kind of way.
It doesn't even mention her best friend. That was the thing that drew me in. It doesn't mention her best friend. So her best girlfriend, they start to do a little bit of light sexual exploration in the sample that I read. And so when I bought the book, I read those chapters again, and it was very, I guess, innocent, and hey, we've never done this before.
Just very exploratory.
Yeah, and I was like, this is kind of hot. I kind of like this. Let's see where this goes. So she invited her friend to go to Greece with her to this island to meet this uncle. It doesn't even mention that. Oh, the friend went with her. No. The uncle thwarted the friend in the airport. Something went wrong with her ticket.
So there was no point. The friend had no point except for the sex part in the beginning.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
So she didn't make it to the island. And after, like, the innocence of hey, because the main character, the female main character, protagonist, she wants to see where things are going to go with her friend, because she is sexually interested in her friend. They're not quite willing to admit that they are lesbian lovers. They're just exploring.
Okay.
So they haven't labeled anything,
curious.
but she's curious, and she wants to continue this exploration. Her boyfriend is overbearing, and everybody in the book, anyone reading the book is like, oh, she needs to dump his ass. What an asshole.
Okay.
That's typically how it goes. So,
Yeah.
it didn't end up being anything like the
At all
description.
that was in this. Really?
Really. It sounds so innocent, and that her uncle is this perfect gentleman, and you get maybe 2 pages of
Well, I mean, it does
thinking-
make it sound like he's going to be the bad guy, at least in the synopsis, but she never gets retribution. Wow, that's a...
I never got to that
having
part.
a hard time saying that.
I know she will, because of the way that it twisted and took a turn,
But
right
it just got
when I quit.
so bad that you
I
couldn't
couldn't
carry
keep
on.
reading it.
Because
So-
it was graphic, or...
Oh my god.
Basically, there's such a thing as hard nose
There's-
in books, you know? And when it comes to torture and...
Defecating, peeing, enemas administered with a garden hose. I draw the line. I didn't even know what had happened. We went from this very poetic exploration of the female body to,
Shove
maybe
a hose in it.
he shoved a hose up her ass. And I'm gripping the covers going, what the fuck is this?
Because it came out of nowhere.
And then at that point I'm just like, no.
You know, I feel like I'm fairly innocent. You were making fun of me in the other video we did, but that was fairly innocent compared to... Not even... It wasn't innocent. I will not say that. But it was not as...
So I was thinking, based on your YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get into some of these reverse harems. Maybe this book will be something like that, because you're going to get into kinky games.
Are you telling me that this book was your introduction to reverse harems?
No.
This book was supposed to be your introduction to reverse harems.
But it wasn't.
I'm so
like,
sad.
No, but it wasn't. It was, okay, they're going to do some kinky games. There might be like an orgy. It's a group of men stuffing things up this girl's body.
Yeah. So
but does that make you, like, his description makes you want to read the book, but my description makes you realize...
No, I don't have any interest in reading gang rape scenes.
What is it?
Gang banging.
That one.
I don't
That's
wanna
what
read.
it was.
I don't want to read about that.
There were multiple men. I think there was I think there was a girl involved.
Unless it's done in such a way that really adds...
But it wasn't even... What happened to
the story?
What happened to the writing also deteriorated. When he went for the violent violation of this girl's body,
his tone got
he
terrible.
lost the poetic prose. Let me read this to you. I downloaded the sample again, since it's vanilla.
Okay.
Listen to how it starts out and why it sucked me in. Because I think I read the description. I was like, I'll try the sample. I read the sample, and this is his style of writing. Chapter 1. When I was young, I'd frolic in the garden. In my angelic innocence, I'd sit cross-legged or roll about on the lawn. People would visit, aunts and uncles, friends and neighbors. They'd sit on the patio sipping tea. My mother would flutter among them with a plate of biscuits. She was a butterfly. While the visitors spoke of their adult world, they'd keep watch over me, watch me play. I was safe, secure. Cross-legged on the lawn, I'd made daisy chains beneath the summer sun. I was pure in my innocence. I loved the grass, the flowers. I was a small flower. The garden seemed big. Sometimes my best friend Sharon would come over and we'd play in the garden together. But with the passing of time, things changed. I was a virgin until 18, untouched. My fully developed body had never been seen by a man. My first boyfriend, David, had initiated me in the gentle art of mutual masturbation. His hand down my knickers, fondling, stroking, massaging.
Wait, is this a historical?
No. I was like, okay, so it's like her sexual journey, and she'll go farther along in this.
Right.
And so, and it started going along of that. It just
her
was along
journey
those
went
lines.
down a bad. It took a bad turn. Took a turn for the dramatic and sad.
There's no sexy way to say garden hose up your ass.
I mean, unless that's your thing.
If enemas is your thing,
Oh my god. I don't know.
No,
I know
like,
that people are into...
I don't want to shame people
That's the
for
thing.
what they're
People
into.
are into different things, which is fine. However, when it comes to sexy books...
I would have liked a disclaimer before I purchased this. I just want my $5 back.
So, Sinful Deceit by Ray Gordon, everyone. If you've read it, please leave a comment down below letting us know how it ends. If you haven't read it, maybe just take this as the disclaimer that wasn't in the book synopsis of this story. And tread lightly, for the road is bumpy. Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome. Ooh, I need a shower.